Yeah. That's right, ladies and boys and girls. Welcome to Gym Crashers. I am Joey the Bull Santana with Dondo and our special guest, Carlos Ramirez.
Carlos, the OG Ramirez.
That's right.
There you go. How you guys doing tonight?
Great.
Doing wonderful, man. We got, somebody of your caliber on the show, which is always a pleasure. I know you've done it once before. But as we're sitting here in the green room talking to Carlos, we have more stories pre-show than I ever get once the show starts. So I'm blown away about the wealth of knowledge and the experience that you bring to the game. Blows me away, dude. How's everything?
Everything's fine, man. I appreciate for that. Everything's fine. Doing good now. We transitioned from the last time we talked to you guys.
Yep.
We were doing CXF. Sean Merriman came on board.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're Alex F. Lights Out Extreme Fighting. And we have 4 shows now in the bucket. And I think our 5th show should be around February or March.
It's coming up.
2020.
So people that don't know, I mean, these are big shows that are going off at Burbank Marriott Convention Center. CXF is popping.
Right.
It was basically the leading MMA show in Southern California for the entire region.
Right.
And then Sean Merriman comes in, and now we have Lights Out XF. And Lights Out, they're actually they're not streaming. They're actually it's on a channel. What channel are we on?
Yeah. So what happened is once we went from CXF to LXF,
Yeah.
we got a deal with Fox Sports West.
Fox Sports West.
And
That's
Prime
the one.
Ticket. So, for everybody out there that likes MMA action, you don't want to pay that extra $10 an app to see other shows.
Yeah.
You could just see us on basic cable now.
And that's a network, dude. That's a big deal.
And it's a great production because I remember the last time I actually watched one of your guys' show. I think that's when I think Bulletproof was actually. Oh, was he one of them? No.
Bulletproof Troop?
Yeah, I think it wasn't your last show, and it was great production. It was pretty good. I loved it.
Yeah.
Didn't have to pay, like you said, you didn't have to pay for pay-per-view. You just wait, a week later or something like that.
Sorry about Troop.
And,
It wasn't the best night for him.
It wasn't. But, he'll be back.
But it seemed like he almost
won't
had
miss a
it.
step.
He almost had it.
He's a
just,
two-sport guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, our production, actually, our production company that does our production for us is the same guys that did all the WrestleManias from
Okay.
WrestleMania 1
Wow.
through, I think they did it all the way through WrestleMania 12 or 13. And they work with the MLW network and whatnot. But, yeah, I mean, we got an opportunity, so now we got to make sure that everybody recognizes what we bring to the table.
Yeah, so if people didn't know, CXF is now Lights Out.
Lights Out, yeah. And Sean Merriman, he's been very instrumental getting us on Fox Sports West. As you guys know, he's an analyst on Fox Sports West.
Sure is.
So as he came on board, it opened up just more door for us.
Yep.
And just widen our scope to get out there for the public to check us out.
Awesome. Now, do you have any actual what are your huge names that are actually fighting for Lights Out, right? That people would know out there.
Chris McCain.
Yeah, we have Chris McCain, former San Diego Charger.
Huge. Comes in with the pads.
Comes in with the pads.
Full walkout.
His jersey. I mean, he's in full gear. It takes
Right.
him more time to get out of his gear to get in the case
It's
than
a
actually get out. So, yeah, we have Chris. He's an amateur right now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he moved up to 3-0. Slowly building stars. That's our whole thing. I mean, when we were in CXF, we did so many shows throughout the years, but we created stars. We gave them an avenue so they could just come and do their thing.
Did you ever? Georgie, Alfred.
Georgie,
name it,
Alfred,
right?
the Mel Six of the world, Troop, like you guys mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of guys that have gone up there either to the Bellators or to the UFCs or whatnot.
Yeah, it's huge. It is actually the breeding ground for the future.
Yeah, I think that's our goal. You know what I mean? We want to set ourselves away from that regional kind of hashtag they put on us. But I think our production, like you said, is we try to go all out. And being a production guy myself, as well as a matchmaker, it's a pet peeve of mine. So I got to make sure that I'm yelling at people,
I've seen it.
entourages. I'm telling them to stay back. I mean, I'm doing the whole thing behind the scenes.
Now, you talk about matchmaking. Is that a difficult job to do? Because I know a lot of people are like, well, I can matchmake a fight and blah, blah, blah. But how difficult is it?
I learned the hard way. I started matchmaking actually 10 years ago, respecting the cage.
Okay.
And it was a lot of trial and error. And it's not as easy because you can have two guys that you like and two big old 265-pounders, but if all they're going to want to do is just wrestle, nobody's gonna want to pay for them to see them back again.
Yeah.
So styles do clash, and then there's just guys that just mesh, and then when they go out there, they just put on a show.
Just give it hell.
What my whole thing is I don't like to play that politic thing where that match doesn't work for me, or that guy is ground, or it's like, look, dude, this is what we have. You want to get to the next level? Guess what? The next level ain't gonna give you a choice. This is what we got. You either take it, you refuse it twice, you're out of your contract. That's just the way it works.
Wow. That's crazy because I always wanted to try that one day where you're, putting matches together. But like you said, you want to study the fighters first to give the audience a great fight. Instead, like you said, instead of having two big old burly guys, all they're going to do is wrestle. But people want to see the hits, the blood, the sweat, the tears, and eventually see a knockout.
Yeah, and you want to pace your show too. You don't just want to have wrestler against wrestler the entire card.
No.
You don't want people to be leaving by the fifth card. People are going to figure out what you're trying to do. So you want to pace yourself. You want to put guys that are going to go out there and bang it out. There's some guys that back in the days, Dave Thomas. You guys know Dave Thomas.
Absolutely.
Great guy. And I will call him up like, what do you think about your guy fighting this guy? He's like, dude, I don't even care who it is. We'll take it.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I like.
Those are the
to deal
gamers.
with. Yeah, people like the Dave Thomases of the world, the Jason Houses of the world.
That's right.
Those guys, they understand the business, and they understand that in order for their guys to keep building themselves up, because at the end of the day, you're your brand. And if you keep picking and choosing who you want to fight, you could have 14-0, but you're fighting guys that are from the stands, or you're fighting guys that are coming out from, and we all know what I'm talking about.
For the six-pack of beer.
For the six-pack of beer, guys that are 0-10, but you're 5-0, and you feel good by knocking out a guy in 10 seconds. So that's the reason. That's what separates us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we're going to put the best guys against the best guys and make sure that those fights are going to want people to come back in. And we talked about it last time as one of the greatest fights we've ever seen. You know which one? You were there.
Did we say? I'm trying to think about it. Turner.
Turner and Leroy.
That's right. Turner Leroy.
And
Jalen Turner, yeah, and Richard Leroy.
I mean, those guys burned the house down. I mean, I haven't seen maybe Melendez and who was it that he fought that these guys just went at it? Nunes.
Yes.
I mean, besides one of those fights.
Oh, yeah. It's Sanchez.
Sanchez and Melendez. That was a fight, but you had to be there to see these guys whack each other
war.
into oblivion.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we try to put the best fights out there. And Sean Merriman just happened to go to one of our shows, and at the end of the night, he was like, guys, I want to be part of this.
That's huge.
I don't care. I just want to be part of this.
So how do you meet up with George Basmajian? How do you take it to the next level with a guy like that who's really running things and can get it to where it has become?
Well, I mean, I go back with George several years, and I got to meet him through Jaime Vasquez, the guy that actually taught me the MMA world.
Okay.
And we did a couple shows with George when he was doing the casino at the Hollywood Park Casino.
Yep.
Chaos at the casino.
Yep.
And he hired me just to bring the fighters out, line them up. And at the end of the night, he was like, dude, I need you on my team. And he nicknamed me the Enforcer for whatever reason, right?
I've seen why.
So I've been rolling with George for the longest, and he trusted my experience, and he knows what I did prior for me meeting him. So he just brought me on board. So I'm one of that guy that you know what I mean. I don't always say yes, and I don't always say no, but I will let him know my 2 cents about certain things, and he listens and he respects that, along with Sean and Steve Bash.
Right on.
People that know much about you, Carlos. What got you into the whole fight game, and what got you started in this whole thing? Did you start out from boxing to cage match, or straight cage match all the way through?
I was always into boxing as a kid. Boxing has always been my first love.
Okay.
And once I saw the UFC 1, I mean, it got me hooked. The whole Gracies, the Shamrocks, the Don Frys of the world, Coleman's.
Sure.
And in 2009, my brother John Pena decided to become a promoter.
Okay.
He met a couple guys from Millennia. He used to train at Millennia in Ontario, in Rancho Cucamonga. And he's always been an entrepreneur. He's always said, you know what, man, I'm going to try this. So our background is club promoters, concert promoters.
That's right. We talked about
that's
this.
our
Absolutely
background.
right.
So to us, it was kind of simple. Like, oh man, we could fill up Pico
Yeah.
Rivera. We could do this. We could
Yeah.
do that. But we ran into something that was totally out of our element, and we brought in some people that knew the game. And at the end of the day, when we had our first meeting, he just asked me, he said, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "I'll take care of the fighters." All right, take care of the fighters. It wasn't something that was like thought out days in advance. It was just like, well, I'll take care of the fighters. Well, I'll take care of catering. I'll take care of this or whatever the case may be. And like I said, Jaime Vasquez, he had been with King of the Cage previously.
Sure.
Came on board with us to do the matchmaking because he knew everybody. And he slowly but surely, we developed a friendship, and we started making, and we continued doing fights for like 3 years straight. And
That's a good run for a new promotion. So you guys were off and running.
It was hell of a run. To us, it was more like a club than
Yeah.
it was a fight.
Yeah.
But, you know, we kept doing them, and I kept learning the game. I kept studying the game, and then I started meeting everybody. Like I said, the Dave Thomases, the Jason Houses, the guys from Millennia, the guys from Black House. So I started building a relationship with people. And then, you know, some people left the promotion. We stood in there. And, you know, like I said, and I always take it back, respect in the cage, it's no longer around, but when we were around, I mean, you had the who's who of the who's top in the UFC now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a good run, and I've been in it ever since, 10 years now.
So
I love that.
So,
Go ahead, Joe.
so I take it takes a lot of patience. A lot of people that want to say you want to get into your shoes right now. It's a lot of patience and just a lot of grind, right?
A lot of patience. You got to be super patient because you have too many middlemen sometimes. You have the manager and you have the coach.
Yep.
And 99% of the times these guys do not agree with each other.
Okay.
So the coach thinks it's a good fight, but the manager probably wants a little bit more money. So you run into things where medicals are not clear 24 hours prior to the fight, and
Sure.
you're calling Sacramento and you're asking them what do they need. You're sending guys to San Pedro to go do last minute lab work.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to pay out of pocket sometimes for people's medicals just because I had to make the fight. That's what we promised.
Gotta
have
get
to
it done.
Deliver. Yeah. So it's one of the most stressing things I've ever had to do, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it was always a nightmare.
Well, you know, this goes out to a lot of you guys that are watching out there. If you guys want to do what he's doing, maybe hit this guy up on a private message. Say, hey, what do I got to learn some tips from this guy? Because
This guy has a full-time job, so I don't know about hitting him up. but
I mean, because if they want to get into his shoes
watch
and
the show and listen.
pretty much, yeah. Because I know a lot of people out there trying to start their own fight.
Hit Joey up at Joey the Bull on Instagram. Ask him questions.
But yeah, just take notes, man. I mean, take notes from this guy. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, yeah, they know that. I mean, it's CXF, and it turned into Lights Out. It's an amazing thing to see. So if you haven't been, I know the next show's coming up in late January, early February.
I'm thinking late February, early March.
Okay, so we got one coming up in just a couple months. We're finishing this year off. Gosh, this time last year, Seasons Beatings, the final CXF show that was to be as CXF.
Right.
At Florentine Gardens in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And none of us really knew. You know, it was still, the lid was on it. I'm sure Carlos knew, but us guys in the audience and the people doing interviews and stuff, we didn't know. We kind of knew something new was coming. But, man, what a jump from what I saw at Florentine Gardens to what it became when we had the first LXF. And then now, what are we on, number 4, number 5?
We're going on number 5.
Jeez.
But from where everybody was talking, there was a lot of speculation, right? And,
Yeah, it was huge.
And obviously, myself, George, Steve, we knew what was coming, and maybe a couple other guys. But it's such a process from turning one brand and flipping it over to another.
Yeah.
There's lawyers involved, there's legalities, there's paperwork, last minute type of stuff. So everything has to be straight.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just like, oh, we're going to do it and that's it. I mean, it took probably about 4 or 5 months just for everything to be settled, everything to be the ink dried, pen to paper. But when it was done, it was like, okay, now we got to deliver.
It's a fresh new look. You know, these guys know the operation, but if you actually come out to the fights, I mean, it goes off without a hitch. I've been to a lot of fights, so to see everybody ready, primed, ready, like you said, medicals are in. Guys, you're not dropping as many fights. You know, you guys are ready to go. So it's not only entertaining, but it leads to that next, when is the next Lights Out, is what I say.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that is what you say is the art of matchmaking right there. Is not only is he putting butts in seats, but he's putting the right fighters. And then you're always wondering what that next one is, because in my head, I kind of know who could possibly be next.
Right.
I don't do Carlos's job, but I know who the guys are in the game, and I'm thinking this is what's up.
Right.
You know?
And you know, a lot of people, all they know is UFC and Bellator, right?
Sure.
But when you build that audience on a local level and you have all these guys grinding, selling tickets, because
Yep.
I'll tell people something that people don't know. These guys are required to sell tickets.
Yeah.
They don't just, some of these guys have full-time jobs. They got to train their ass off and they still have to promote themselves.
Yep.
Which at the end of the day, it's a good thing for them because like I said, they're building their brand.
Yeah.
But what we're doing now is we also have a B League.
Mm-hmm.
Which is our amateur fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to develop our amateur fighters like a farm system and then bring them over to LXF once they're ready. Sort of like what we're doing with Chris.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
It's a full-fledged operation. We have some long-term goals. A couple things I can't talk about right now. But I think 2020, we're going to hit that. We're going to hit that gas pedal a little bit harder than we did 2019.
I imagine, yeah, and that's coming up quick. I mean, 2020 is a few weeks away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where did the time go?
And I noticed that a lot of your fights are up in LA. Are you bringing anything to Orange County?
Right now our home base is Burbank
Okay.
at the Marriott. It's a great building.
It is.
I love it. It's very spacious. It's not like Florentine Gardens where you know, God forbid we do it in the summer there.
It's a convention center, so
Basically.
it is the Marriott, but it's the Burbank Convention Center where the event goes off. So it is not only spacious. You got the bar, you got the restaurant, you got the hotel.
Okay.
You got a lot going on there. So when they picked that, they also got fighters coming from Ventura, Oxnard,
Right.
L.A., San Diego, Orange County. So it's right in the
In the
middle.
center. Okay, I get it. Because I mean, you places like Orange County, the Hangar. You have like
But there's already
Convention
people
Center,
doing it.
you know, Anaheim Convention Center and all that stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's a lot pricier too.
It not only that, but I mean, you guys know Roy
Engelbrecht.
Roy Engelbrecht. He's been a staple in promoting boxing forever.
And that's his
And-
location.
and
yeah.
that's his spot. And you know, everybody on the regional level, everybody's respectful about it.
I like that.
So you know, if that's his place, that's his place.
Okay.
And that's correct, because you know what? It does get confusing when you are even just a fan of local fights. If you're watching Sparstar, if you're watching Roy Engelbrecht, if you're watching even Epic down in San Diego, if you start mixing up locations, you don't know who's what. Like, that brand belongs there. I kind of identify Lights Out with that area with Sportsman's Lodge, Florentine
Right.
Gardens, Burbank. It's all still right there.
Right.
Studio City.
And when we got that Fox deal with Fox Sports
That's
West,
huge.
We also had to do some personnel changes, and we did that just because we wanted to have our own image. You know, there was certain people that went back and forth between promotions, great people, but you know, we want to make sure that CXF stays. LXF stays LXF.
LXF.
Yeah, I'm still on the CXF.
It's all good,
level.
man.
Stays with the same people because you know they want to see a Jonathan King and know that's the LXF
right.
commentator. Todd Kenley, you know, George, like I said, George, Steve, and these guys are very involved. And Sean Merriman, for a guy of his level, he's one of the most humble guys you could ever meet. Real nice guy. He's the type of guy that go lift the box if he needs to, or if he needs to go bring something for the production guys. I mean, the guy's great. He's a cool dude all around. And like I said, he helped us out a lot, man. He did.
I believe it. And talking about Jonathan King, he is the announcer.
Yes, he's our play-by-play guy.
Play-by-play, he's in the center of the cage with the fighters, but actually has taught me a thing or two. He's come over and kind of adjusted how I stand, where I hold my mic, taught me how to really clean up my interviews. A true professional. You know,
Jonathan's a perfectionist.
He is.
And he's good at what he does. And we mess with John a lot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's out of love. But John's one of those guys, man, that he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And he could write his ass off. That guy's an amazing dude.
He is, and it pulls the show together. So that's another real professional aspect of LXF, is that you got a guy like John King there. You got Carlos behind the scenes. And I see these guys going at it, man. You wouldn't know they're friends, but that's how you run a show.
That's how you run a show.
That is exactly what gets done. They're cracking the whip. So, and I
Yeah.
like that.
And like I said, you have to do that, man,
Yeah.
because I mean, especially in a show like this, everybody's excited. Everybody wants to bring their entourages or whatnot. And I'm the type of guy that after they're done with the rules meeting, then I got my own meeting with everybody.
Fact.
You know what I mean?
Fact.
So, and you've been there.
Yeah.
And you see the way I talk to some of these guys.
Yeah.
I pull no strings, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure when they come out looking good. The production's on point. Their songs playing correctly, and the show's going off without a hitch.
And I like that. Give Robert the microphone.
Backstage bet, somebody said something about a security guard, and I said I put up whatever's in my pocket because I think my homeboy Carlos got this one. You remember that?
So yeah, we. All right, so I don't want to talk about this one.
Don't talk about it. Robert,
Robert, you damn troublemaker.
I'll make it quick. So we have brand new security guys, and those guys are great, man. And for whatever reason, I wasn't wearing my badge that I usually wear.
Yeah, they're pretty strict on that.
And this guy, he got in my face and started getting crazy. And at that point, I'm running the show. I'm checking fighters in. I got guys I haven't checked in. They're supposed to be fighting next. So I'm going crazy. And some guy he put his hands. He told me to relax. And it was all bad after that.
Not the time and place.
It was all bad after that.
Not the time and place.
Yeah, I kind of had to pause what I was doing and kind of just tell the guy, like, we could do this here or we could do this over there.
It's a gentleman.
So,
I like that. You can't tell.
But I
Carlos.
apologize. I apologize to the dude after. Actually, to two of them because there was another guy by cage side that did the same thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good night for security.
They're doing their job, but it's hard if you don't know the players. So there's respect given where it ought to be.
But I apologize to them, man. They were
you're a
just
good
doing their
dude.
job. It was just when you're in the middle of stuff and you're recording and you got your director in your ear telling you we gotta go, and I can't find the fighter because he decided to go to the restroom at the last second. It gets hectic.
Oh yeah,
it gets hectic, and you guys know more than anybody when it comes to production. You could only do so many miracles.
Oh man.
So you
People
can
gotta do
edit,
their
copy,
job.
and paste all you want, but
Yeah.
we just got to get the show rolling.
One of the most important things is people have to be present.
Yeah.
Because they can't give them direction, they're not present.
Right.
So yeah, we do have that issue from time to time as well with our production. You got to be present. So we emphasize this. And yes, I've seen Carlos corral all these horses. I mean, they're stallions. These guys are pumped. They're ready to go. There's a lot of nerves. And Carlos is the one that actually brings the show together because their mind may not be where it ought to be. They're thinking about the fight, which is fine, but they're not there yet. And yet they're next in line. They're third in line. People are coming up. So Carlos is like, you might want to, stay right where you are because it's going to come up quick. You don't know how quick the rounds are going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, it's hard. I mean, I think I'm probably one of the only guys besides Dave Thomas that can control Jay Silva.
Sure. I can't even imagine.
So, yeah, shout out to Jay Silva. That's
Shout
my
out
dude
to
right there,
Jay.
man.
He's a homie.
Yeah, Jay. I've known Jay for years and always tried to get him on one of my cards. It never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 10 years later, finally got him on one of our cards.
That's a beautiful thing.
So he's an intimidating dude too, man.
Yeah. There's
But he's a
no
big
two
ass-
ways about that.
He's a big ass teddy bear inside, though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
a gentle giant.
Yeah.
Him and Blake gonna get
Unbelievable. Oh yeah, Blake
Well,
Troop.
yeah, I had to separate them at the Commerce Casino.
They want to fight each other.
Yeah, and I hope it happens.
Yeah, that would be a cool fight. What's next for Blake Troop? What do you think?
Like he was
Jay Silva and Blake Troop. So yeah, just maybe.
Been talking about him, so.
Oh, is that the recent videos he was talking all that?
Yeah, that's
Real?
what I'm talking
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, I saw him like this gotta be a joke, and he's really serious.
So people that don't know, Troop is Trump. Blake Trump. Blake Troop.
Trump Troop.
Troop is a promoting machine. So look up Blake Troop on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and see his promotions. Bulletproof Troop he's a promoting machine. So whoever he's calling out, he's not shy about it. Whether he wins or loses,
Yeah,
he's calling someone out.
Yeah, you can recognize him by the grenade he carries around his neck all the time.
He
Hey,
does have that grenade.
big-
I call
real-
it
real
in that
quick.
fist. He's got the fist.
Big shout out to Adam Woods. I know he's watching somewhere wherever he's at. What's up, Adam?
Adam Woods, our co-host, he's a good friend of Carlos as well, and he's a little tied up in L.A. somewhere, probably traffic, who knows, but wish him all the best. Hope he's safe because it is holiday week right now, and
Yeah, it's
a lot
crazy.
going on out there, dude.
I want to give a quick shout out to all of our people that are
Hit
watching.
it,
I
hit
got Mindy and Nahosa. Love you, baby. Luis Tapia, Gabriel Lopez, Mike, and his two kids that usually train here. The little
Hey, what's
Kool-Aid
up, Mike?
kid.
Mike's a homie.
And then, of course, Adam Woods. Big shout out. And then, where's our sponsors? Are we?
We're going to get new sponsors for 2020, so
Okay.
please hit up Free Admission Media. Tell them what you're interested in. We will let you know what's going on.
But
So
one
we're
of
gonna
our
start some
sponsors
new
that
stuff.
I talked about now is
Well, he's
Our
a
Life
sponsor and he's
CBD
Yep.
Yes,
is in the
sir.
house.
What's up, Sean?
What's up, Sean?
Just chilling, man. Just came back from Monterrey, Mexico.
They let you back.
They let me back. I kept
I wouldn't let you
kept my
back.
passport. So,
How much did
you
that
know.
cost?
Oh,
Look
there's
at
some
that.
pictures.
There
Oh,
it
look at that.
is.
Is that you at the depot?
That looks like a green
screen.
screen. If I
That was
didn't
it.
know better, I would say you weren't really there.
No,
They
I
got you
was
lined up
really
right
there.
there?
That's a green screen.
I was really there. What was awesome, man, I was really happy about it is on the mat, we had our logo on the mat, so that was badass.
Where's
Oh,
that?
really?
Do we see it?
Oh, that's my
actually
boy
sent-
right
There he is.
there.
That was,
Yosemite Sam and
Mr.
the Mexican.
Beltran.
Love
Hey,
that Beltran.
Mike is really cool, man. He's a really good guy.
Was that the Eddie Bravo show
Yes,
down there?
the Combat
Okay.
Jiu-Jitsu show. Yeah, and it was awesome.
Look at
Boogie
that.
and Gio and our boy right there, man.
That's a San Diego crew right there.
Yep, Kyle Chambers, you know. And then Pearl. Pearl's fight was ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you guys did not see that fight,
We didn't.
The biggest problem with combat jiu-jitsu that we were seeing that day is that a lot of them were slaps, right?
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of power behind slaps.
That's
now.
not true, but you know
Pearl,
they can be.
well, but what I'm saying, why I'm saying is
It's a
because
bitch
when you
slap
saw-
or a an
yeah,
open
well, that's
palm
the
strike.
difference. Pearl was open palm striking
Yeah.
from the top.
Oh,
Boom!
Yeah.
When
jeez.
she hit
Lot of force.
that chick, bro, every single time she hit her, her head bounced off the mat.
That's the way to do it.
It was not a slap. It was mean. And then she broke her arm.
She did?
Yes.
So, quick story on Pearl.
Tell us.
Pearl, I sponsored her for, I think it was her third professional fight. And I remember, and I told you this the last time we were here.
Tell me again.
I called Jason House. I go, you got to look at this girl. I go, this girl, she has the right look. I go, and she's a badass, dude. And again, he didn't listen to me, right? Like he didn't listen to me with other people. But fast forward, she made it to the UFC, and she was in the New York card, on the
Big ass
undercard.
card, right?
And I remember that she was there, and I remember Jason had one of his fighters there. So I text Jason. I go, you remember that girl, Pearl, I told you about 5 years ago? He's like, dude, she's right next to me. I go, what did I tell you? So
Live and learn, man.
It happened with, I mean, Henry Corral is his first fight.
Yep.
That John promoted at Long Beach Fight Nights years ago.
It's a fact.
I text him that same night. I go, dude, you got to look at this kid. He's going to be somebody. He just has that it factor. He listened to me on that one.
Yep. Gobbled him up.
Brian Ortega. I go, this kid has something special, man. He's going to be good one of these days. So, yeah, Pearl.
Yeah, she's really cool, man.
She's very humble.
I met her for the first time, you know, very nice. And then we, you know, being in Mexico, we kept on running into them and Gabe and
There you are. There you are.
That's that where you got held up by INS.
That is the
No,
Jalisco
no, that's
cartel right there.
Hey, that was
That's a cool pick.
That's a
that
nice
was really
pick.
cool, man.
That's
a poster.
That
That's
should
the
be a
largest.
poster.
That's the largest Mexican flag in Mexico. And what was really cool,
didn't look
all
that
those
big.
Wait, can we go
other
back to that picture real quick?
That's El Micho. Mi Chorizo.
What was cool about that, man, crazy fucker. They got all the history, so every flag that Mexico ever had is lined up there, and they have all the different years, and it's a trip because it's around 18. My years could be off, man, but around
So there's different
1860.
flags. They don't all have the eagle in the middle.
There's all the progression from the first Mexican flag, and what's crazy, that's why is one of those flags. You can see it to the right. See how there's a one without the red, white, and green, bro?
Yeah, I see
and
it.
That's like 1860s, if I remember
Got it,
correctly.
got
I
it.
could be off because my memory's not that great, and I had a couple drinks the night before. The show was the night before.
That's a dope
So,
picture.
You know? But yeah, we also went down there with Johnny Munoz, and man, he's a awesome guy. Our Life CBD fight team.
So the
Shout out
name-
to him.
What's
and
up with
Sequence.
Kid Vembo? What does Kid Vembo mean? Tell
Kid
us.
Vembo, it's kind of cool. So Johnny Munoz, his father was kind of. I could be saying this wrong, but from what we talked about,
Give us the Sean Lerner version.
his father was kind of raised by or adopted or raised by a I don't know if it was Norwegian or Swedish family, and that's what the Kivembo name is, and that's why he adopted that name.
Crazy.
You know, so there is a meaning behind it. And one thing's awesome about that guy, man. I mean, about his whole family. I mean, he's got his whole family is black belts, man.
Wow.
His father, and they're all Mexican.
Who's that?
That's our boy Jeremiah Vance. That's my boy. He's a really cool guy, man. Jeremiah is not only one of the top level 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu guys, you know, EBI winner multiple times, but he's a really cool guy. Ex-skateboarder. One of the guys I train with is a ex-professional skateboarder, Brian Sumner, and we had a lot of cool conversations about him and Brian back in the days. So
Cool.
it was cool, man.
Look at that.
there's
There he
the boy.
is.
There's a homie Eddie Bravo.
Edgy Brav.
Edgy Bravo. Yeah, Eddie Bravo's a great guy, man.
got a little
Helped
bone
us
to
out
pick
a
with
lot.
Eddie.
Yeah?
Uh-oh.
Oh, let's let
Let's
Carlos have the
check. Here we
camera.
I got well.
Come on.
You know,
It was either on an interview. I think it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. He kind of threw East LA under the ground because he used it as a. Oh yeah, I'll just go to East LA and just like he used it as kind of like throwing us under the
Yeah.
Oh, I
throwing us
see.
under the bus. So I was like, okay.
Well, let me tell you one thing that really made me respect him a lot, man. The first time I ever went to 10th Planet,
Right.
I went there. We're watching qualifiers, and obviously there's a bunch of people there, and some people were people have coffee. If you've been there, you walk in and it's like the whole area is kind of caged off.
Yeah.
Once
Right.
you walk in the cage, there is a little area where you can go sit. On some seats, and then some people brought drinks in there. And what I thought was badass is that he went in there and told everybody. I heard him say it a couple times. He tells everybody, "Hey man, get your drinks out of here. I don't want no drinks in here because I'm the Mexican who cleans it up." And what I thought was badass is it's one thing to say it,
Right.
but him being Eddie Bravo, who he is, and actually cleaning the fucking mats, man. Respect, bro.
Yeah.
Mopping.
You know what I mean? Respect, because that's a true Mexican man. Like, hey, he's a worker. He's not trying to fake the funk.
You
He's
could be
man,
the
I clean
CEO,
the
but you
fu-
gotta clean your
but
own
you gotta
mess.
clean your own
Yeah.
mess. And to me, I respect that a lot, man. So
And to his credit, I mean, he comes his heritage from the parts of Mexico where he comes from was Chihuahua, is where my family's from.
that's where my
Really?
family's from, bro.
Yeah, so-
my dad's last name's Lerma. My dad's from Chihuahua, man.
Yeah, so my family comes from Parral, Chihuahua.
Okay.
So you know what I mean. I know his history. I know his
My
background.
grandfather's family. We got Adelitas in our family, bro.
Oh, there you go. Not the place in TJ, right?
No,
Oh,
not that
that's-
one. I'm talking about the old ones.
That's the
The
hangout.
balas coming across the chest.
oh, the one in TJ. I just cut out to that. Oh, I was like,
This guy's sleeping.
oh, yeah.
Right next door to Hong Kong.
No, that's the other side. That's the other side of the street.
I believe it's on Coahuila.
It's two different streets. Two different streets, bro.
La Cahuila.
Oh, God.
We
Okay.
actually had some mariscos right near there yesterday on our way home.
I bet you did.
So back to your story about the whole thing about Eddie Bravo, the whole East LA thing. So you didn't really go into
Well,
that.
what
No. You know what? He was with Joe, and I'm sure they were
Just
huffing and
talking,
puffing
yeah.
some stuff. But I forgot what he used it. But I know he kind of threw East LA under the table, so to speak. And I was like, this mother, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, he's a Santana boy. He's from
I know.
from OC.
Yep.
yeah,
That's a fact.
But yeah, man. He for me, he's been really cool with us because gave us opportunities, man.
Yeah.
We
It's a fact.
started off really with the kind of promotions that we were working with was kind of small. It was their internal 10 Planet tournament.
Gotcha.
And then an opportunity with Combat Jiu-Jitsu came up, and it's him, Michael Plaster, to be honest, all
whole
those
crew,
guys,
man.
and the whole crew. All those guys are really, really
Donna
good.
Gonzalez Gonzalez.
Yeah, Donna, all them, they've all, really embraced us, and we did a tour. And, I mean, I train with Checkmat, and we're a lot of the guys that really support me are the 10 Planet guys, so it's really cool, man. They've been very supportive, so I appreciate that,
Yep.
Ruben Rivera, another guy, is great. He really helped us out on the tour.
It's a fact.
Jen Rivera, his wife.
Yep.
I mean, man, those guys are really, really good people.
That's a
John,
fact.
John Boteo over in Phoenix. So good
Yeah,
guys.
Those
man.
guys are all homies. Chewy.
Chewy and Chris
Jesus
Chavez, man.
Urbina.
Yep, and Chris Chavez over there in El Paso too.
Yep.
Good guys, man. Master
Cool.
Vic, he's over there in El Paso too.
It's
Cool.
like a second home to me. El Paso.
Is it?
I have-
Did
I
you
have
live
a
out
lot of
there?
Family up there.
Really?
Yeah, I used to go down there actually during the Christmas seasons.
That's
We were
really
younger.
cool.
It gets
Yeah.
cold up there.
Yeah, El Paso. And then we would cross over the border to go to
Juarez, yeah.
So that I still got family in both spots.
Really?
Yeah,
You ever
so-
see Fluffy out there? Because I know Fluffy does his thing out there. I love that guy. You're not a Fluffy fan? I love
Actually,
that
when we
guy.
did the tour, man, I had an opportunity to spend I stayed an extra day so I can go see my family. Went to see my
In
tío,
Juarez?
my tia. No, in
El Paso?
Yeah, I have Theo and Tia that live together at my grandma's house. My grandma passed away. Actually, two Tias and a Theo that live over there, and then my other Tia lives down the street. So we went and saw both of them, man. It was really nice because obviously I don't get a chance very often to go see them.
Were they tripping out that you were out there?
Yeah. Well, I called them, let them know I was going to come out. And the great thing, whenever you go out to family's house, man, the first thing you get is
Food.
especially Mexican family. I was loving, bro.
Yeah.
I went, my tío invited me over. My tía's made breakfast, and then I go over to my other tía's house. She's, we got to get you. And right away, they want to feed you, bro.
It's like hell with the keto diet.
Yeah, there ain't no
Just give it
keto
hell.
diet in El Paso,
Let's get the
I'll tell you that
taquitos. Let's get the
The
taquitos.
taquito diet.
much. Keto diet, straight up.
When they invent the keto burrito, call me. That's what
So,
I'm
yeah,
all
it
about.
was cool, man.
Very cool, man. Glad to hear it. But El Paso said, did you grow up out there? You grew up here, right?
No,
You're an LA boy.
Yeah, I grew up in East LA, but majority of the part I was, for my vacations, I would go to either El Paso, Juarez, or up in Albuquerque, New Mexico,
Right on.
where I had an uncle up there. So I mean, I was hustling since I was a little kid, man. So wherever they needed me, I was there.
So you probably saw the change, though. Juarez wasn't always what it had become.
Oh no, Juarez back in the day, man, was party central.
Sure, you could just walk over.
Well, not only that. I mean, in Juarez, I mean, I had so much family, and I still have a lot of family. But you know, my dad, my uncles, my aunts, everybody will just flock over there for Christmas, and they party from Christmas to New Year's nonstop.
Oh, I know.
And they let us do whatever we wanted. So you know what I mean? It was it was good for me.
Yeah. I've done those weekends. I know.
The first time I ever drank Presidente, I was
Yeah.
like 8 years old. bro.
Brandy all weekend. Everybody drinks Presidente, man, at those parties.
Yeah, not no more, brother.
Right? It'll
Yeah.
tear your gut up.
Oh, dude.
Rotten.
Yeah, I got some stories on Presidente,
But there's
for
something.
another day.
But there's something about the tacos
I was
down there,
naked.
right?
The tacos
At
de
3
barbacoa.
a.m.,
The
right? Barbacoa. I love barbacoa. We ate that tonight. Bomb.
But they got some OG barbacoa, though.
I know.
Oh, that sounds.
That's why there's no stray dogs
You're making
anywhere.
me hungry.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm fat and I'm hungry. Y'all talking about that food right now and drinking.
Oh, look at Joey.
That's why I don't drink anymore. Because when I drink, I usually like not have this on anymore. You know.
Joey, you said your family's from Chihuahua. Have you been there?
I never said my. I have owned Chihuahuas. I never said my.
Oh,
You own Chihuahua.
I own family from Chihuahua.
no? I thought you said. I know Carlos'
Yeah.
family's from there.
He's
No, his
family
family.
from Chihuahua, and he's an Indian.
Oh, he's an Aztec.
Yeah.
No, he's,
No,
what did
I
he
don't
say?
remember. He's a
Tunga,
he's a
Tungva,
Tanga.
Tungva, Cherokee, Apache.
What
Okay.
is it again?
Tungva. They're coastal. They're out here in this area. They actually were coastal Indians.
What do they eat?
Hey, so if you're all those damn Indians, how come you ain't making money on the
It's
reservation,
because
man?
my great
well.
great
How come you
uncle.
ain't kicking down to the home?
He was the last one to have the card and shit, but he somehow got lost. And I had a great great grandmother that actually spoke the language, and of course she passed away a long time
Hey,
ago.
can't you
so-
just go get tested and prove it and be like, give me my money?
Yeah, your
Yeah,
DNA.
no, it doesn't happen like that.
No.
You gotta like.
Once
go
he gives
do
his
research.
DNA, he's gonna be doing time. So he ain't gonna be doing that. I've been looking for you, Slim.
Jeez, that's terrible.
Wow.
Well, you know, just looking out for a homie.
Hey.
Don't be giving up your DNA.
No, be like, welcome. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Chihuahua.
That's just wrong.
I don't think you see dudes my
Hey,
size in Mexico.
These two homies have family in Chihuahua.
I know, but I'm saying probably a giant when I go down there.
Oh yeah, they don't make Mexicans like you. They don't eat. You know, you're giant sized. No, they had one. What's the kid's name? Jiu-jitsu practitioner in El Paso, Texas. I call him King Kong. I look more like
No,
you know,
yeah, that guy's
Is-
big. He's one of Master Vic guys,
right?
right?
Yeah, Master Vic's guy. That's right. Anybody know his name, Robert? You got a picture of that
I
guy?
don't remember his name, man.
The
the
gigantic
from
guy.
Combat.
The
How big is he?
the biggest Mexican I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, King. They call him King Kong, right?
I call him King Kong. I don't know.
I
I don't know.
really?
I didn't know his
Yeah.
real name. I'm going to show Carlos. Robert should pull the picture up. Good Lord.
Was that the wrong picture,
It's
Dondo?
not the right picture. So it happens on.
I was like, damn, did I just see that?
Wow.
Sorry.
It was nice being here again, guys.
No, I did some research about my dad's side of it. My grandmother, she passed away a while back, but she was actually born in the tropical part of South America. So I think that's the reason why I get all this curly
where's it?
goodness.
South America has a tropical
Where's the
Well, the tropical part of South America, like where where a lot of like more darker skin, curly hair. You know,
Hey, what if you guys doing Ancestry.com on this guy, dude?
I'm probably a mutt.
He's going to jail. Is that King Kong or am I seeing things?
Oh, wow.
He's a big Mexican.
That's a Mexican?
That's a Mexican.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
he's a big boy.
Nah, I don't think
He's
it's
a Mexican,
He's
dude.
Mexican, bro. I met him. We met him at
I'm
Combat
going to go put
Jiu-Jitsu.
this on the TV.
What is he, like 7 feet?
No, why don't you find his Instagram? Do you have an Instagram?
No, there it is right there.
Oh yeah.
Well, everybody's taller than you, man.
That right there is
Yeah, this guy.
King Kong versus a
Fucking
monkey.
Munchie Chi over here.
Versus a monkey.
That is a monkey next to King Kong. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt Carlos' show, but you know it's almost unreal
Wow.
that
That's a
they,
big boy.
They created an animal like that, and that guy does jujitsu. It's
That's
triangles all day long.
Nah,
Nah, what is it?
it's a part of it.
Yeah, you say that.
When I went to Cancun, I was the biggest guy there. I mean, all the people that were so tiny
Joey,
over
you're
there.
the biggest guy wherever you go. We know.
Oh, that's fucked up, man.
Are we
We
talking
know.
horizontally or vertically?
Did you fill in a cenote?
Whatever.
create one?
So I'll create one in your face right now, and you too, tattoo.
Ho, ho, ho. I don't want you angry again. Last show with Joe was very angry.
yo.
No, last time I got angry, I got banned from the last show.
No, it is.
Okay, okay.
I
That happens.
gotta keep smiling.
Okay. So growing up, crossing the border, you had to notice probably in the 90s is what I imagine when Juarez really kind of took a turn. It got a little bit more dangerous. Maybe not for you because you're a homeboy, but for me, they knew I wasn't from there.
Yeah, I think it started flipping like around 95, 96.
Yeah.
That's when everything started getting crazy. I stopped going there around that same time.
I was going to say, so I kind of felt it as well in
Yeah.
different places, not just there,
I mean, even TJ.
right?
I mean,
Rosarito,
Rosarito,
Ensenada.
I think the last time we went to TJ or we did anything down there was probably like in 1997. We
Sure.
did like a Memorial Day weekend thing. But even then, I wouldn't touch TJ or Juarez just
Just got
because.
to get through there.
Yeah, I would go to San Diego. I wouldn't touch the border, or I'll go to El Paso and just, wave from far over
Hey,
here.
guys.
Now, is it more of a night thing or a day thing when shit goes down
It doesn't
low?
matter.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because I've been to TJ plenty of times and nothing happens to me when
Well,
I'm down there. You know?
TJ now
It's
is
worse,
No, actually, it's better.
is it?
No, it is.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't recognize it 10 years ago, and you go back now, you would not recognize it. Like they've
The border
actually
alone.
cleaned it up. Yeah, they've cleaned it up. The border just crossing over. I mean, I
high
could
tech.
recognize it. Yeah,
I was there actually yesterday, and it was much nicer than it was before. But I'll tell you what, Monterrey, man.
How long did it take you to get through the border?
Monterey's
We
beautiful.
walked.
You walked through the border?
We Ubered it and walked through, and it
I've
took
walked
literally
over 100
10
times.
minutes, dude.
Really?
Ridiculously fast.
And they didn't
The
stop
best
you
wa-
and say, "Let's see the
They didn't-
papers."
What's crazy is, I mean, we're supposed to have such great security, maybe because we talk good English, but dude, they didn't even look in our bags, bro. We could have
No,
brought back.
Oh,
all kinds of stuff.
I passed that big line. There was a big line one time. Me and my boy just walked up front, and people didn't say shit because we were big dudes.
Let
And
me
we
tell you
just-
something. I took a girl down there. No joke. Not that this is the Johnny Arredondo show, but I took a girl down there, right? And she had never been. White girl. It's not that long ago. Probably 10 years ago, 9 years ago, somewhere
Yeah.
in there. And we cross over. I walk her over. I don't want to drive over because I always get shit. They always pull me over. I always empty my pockets. They drain
Well, 'cause
me.
you're
They
probably
wanna
an
steal my
asshole, that's
car,
why.
Pretty much, but you know. So I walk over, and we're walking down, and I notice this guy's trying to get me down an alleyway. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go down there. Yeah. Keep walking. You know, we're going to do our thing. And then I notice a guy on top of a building, and then I see him kind of triangulating. I see him on phones and stuff. And I'm about to get rolled. So I literally told her, I said, yeah, I can tell.
run.
I'm about to get rolled. Let's get the fuck back in this line, because there was a line to get over the border.
Yeah.
I walk to the front of the line. I see two U.S. Customs guys. I say, I'm about to get rolled. Let's get this girl across the border. And she goes, I'm American. They grab her, and they push me aside, and they said, we're taking her over. You getting back of the fucking line, Brownie. I'm kidding you.
Well, if you get to know this guy, I mean, I'll put him back in line. He's
They didn't even
he's
know
a little
me.
dude, but he's the biggest prick.
Yeah, but
They did not know me. He might be right, but they did not know me. But
Yeah.
they shoved my ass to the back of the line.
I think this year alone, I went back to TJ for the first time. I think like around in January because I was very hesitant to go back. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not trying to go back there. And I got convinced to go back there, and I was like, you know what, this is not bad.
Yeah.
So I think 2019, I've been back and forth maybe about 5-6 times,
I'm going with you.
and go visit the Rosaritos.
Yeah.
I was in Rosarito, I think in July, and just.
It's a good time.
Did you-
Just
Puerto
go
Nuevo?
for the Sunday, take
Yeah.
a stroll, go to Puerto Nuevo, have some
Right.
nice
Great.
coffee,
Lobsters,
and
man.
come
You
back.
know,
Yeah, great
here's-
for
here-
tacos, beers, and what do you call it? Steroids and medication.
There's Playas, Tijuana, Playas, right? There is a supper club in Playas, San Antonio del Mar is the name of the beach. A supper club is where they invite you, but it's prefix. So whatever the catch of the day is, octopus, calico bass, might be halibut, you don't know. But it is invite only. Neighborhood folks, industry people, hotel, restaurant, affluent people, the mayor of the city. And if you can get into that crowd, I got invited a few times. It's incredible on the beach, killer
You gotta
balcony
take us,
seating.
bro.
Yeah, no, it's something else, but it's in San Antonio del Mar.
I know.
We are gonna go hit
Stingy.
this up because I got the hookup. We got to get down there. Robert,
So we got a request to have Sean Sharaf back on LXF.
Sean Sharaf back
So
now.
they like watching him.
right on.
Okay. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Tell him to call the man.
Yeah, hit me up on Instagram.
It was Aaron Muro.
Oh, Aaron Murrow knows her shit.
Oh, okay.
Was that on YouTube?
She likes
Yeah.
watching it.
She knows her stuff. She's the encyclopedia of MMA. I myself
you
know.
were.
No. Quite the opposite.
He's the fluffer of MMA.
I am the encyclopedia of Cheech and Chong movies. Cheech and Chong.
He don't need to get on his knees.
That's right.
Chi-Chi's and Chong's movie.
Do you know what a Mexican's favorite cheese is?
Oh no.
Chi-Chi's.
Oh, Jesus.
He's Indian, bro. He don't know.
I know what Chi-Chis are, bro. But how many times I heard that joke? It's like, come on, Dad, really?
You grew up in the hoods of Santa Ana.
That's right.
Yeah, bro. I know how it is. That's it.
Yeah. Do you
Damn.
know the Mexican word of the day? I smoke-a? I can't remember because I smoke a lot of weed. Joey's all pissed off.
No, I'm not pissed off. I'm laughing deep down inside. But you know how many times I hear this
It
joke?
just can't come out.
I could tell.
Well, it's got a long way to come out.
That's got a long way to come out. Whatever. Fuck, at least I got all my hair, bro.
You got you there, bro.
Yeah,
Joey's off camera.
toma.
Hey, look, dude, you're getting it at a couple people right here.
I learned that from the hood.
Is that what they used to do all the time?
Oh, yeah. That's what it sounds like now. It's whistling.
Jerk. Robert, have my back, bro. They're picking on me.
Robert, what else is going on up there? Who we got viewing?
Art Ramos.
Ramos, our homie down there in Trabuco Canyon. I don't
Yeah.
know if people know where Trabuco Canyon is, but it's almost to Corona, almost home for some folks over here in the
Actually,
show.
I just saw those guys. They have a great wrestling team, man.
Yeah, they do have a good wrestling
My-
team.
my
He's
son-
actually the coach.
Oh,
I
he
think
is?
so, yeah.
Isn't him and Mark Munoz?
Oh, Mark Munoz, his
Mark
homie. Yeah.
Munoz,
He's the assistant coach.
Oh, that chicken.
Yeah, water boy. He's the water boy.
Where's
Yeah,
the
You got
my
high
son
quality
just,
H2O.
They did really well over there last week, man.
Yeah. Your son wrestles?
Yeah, my middle son. We were actually at Torrance today. So I was gone over the weekend. He at Torrance at West High School. He won 3 matches, and then today he won 2 matches. He had a bye, but he got 2 medals.
Nice.
Good for him.
Our Life
He's a freshman,
CBD.
just started.
Oh, wow.
Rocking the high
Yeah.
schools.
And what's really cool, man, is the Marina High School in Huntington Beach. They got right now, man. We got a really good freshman squad. And what's really cool is a lot of them have at least 3 of the kids that are really good have a jiu-jitsu background.
Right on.
So it's kind of
It's going to change the game of high school wrestling because
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu's coming in their lives at 4 years old sometimes now.
And yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
they
so
already
it's
got a
starting
good
early.
base. And although it isn't wrestling, but it's still grappling. So when
Yeah, you got to
know,
get used to
they're-
the other rules, that's for sure.
Not only that, but getting understanding competition.
Yeah,
the, you
the
know what I mean?
pressure.
The pressure that comes along with it, and I think it makes you such a stronger, so much stronger in jiu-jitsu when you're actually wrestling. I mean, because it's just grit, man, nonstop. You know.
That's a good question for you, Carlos. You know, we see UFC rise to what it is today. Bellator is right on their heels. Seems like they're picking up fighters left and right. There's all kinds of room for lights out and other regional type of MMA. What do you think the state of MMA is right now? Is it a stalemate at that level? Because I'd rather go watch lights out than some of the cards that they're putting on pay-per-view. I'm like, I wouldn't pay for that. I don't want to put you on the stick, but it just
No,
seems
no.
odd, you know?
Well, I mean, I'm not one to shy away from questions. So, what I don't understand is it's becoming so much of what boxing became, where it doesn't necessarily you're getting the number one contender against the champ. You're getting who's the most popular guy that I'm going to sell more tickets with to fight the champ. I don't know why it's taken Tony Ferguson this long to get his title shot again.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's getting it now. Finally, I think that's
Definitely
the fight
deserved.
everybody needs to see.
We're excited about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. Conor McGregor sells tickets, and I think that's what it's become.
Yeah.
But I think if you got to build your stars, you can't just focus on the Conor McGregors of the world, or you know, like on the Bellator side, you can't just focus on the Aaron Picos of the world. Why? Because not to knock on the guy, and I love the kid.
Yeah.
I think he has a better future in boxing than he does in MMA. I think he just needs to use what brought him to the dance, which is his wrestling.
Yes.
Nobody's seen that kid's wrestling, and that kid's wrestling is phenomenal. Probably one of the best wrestlings in MMA, but you don't see it for whatever the case may be. But I get it, you know. His debut fight, Madison Square Garden, who gets
Huge.
that? Nobody gets that. But
As
that's
a young
lot,
man.
That's a lot of pressure on him.
Mhm.
And I think these guys need to build stars. I think Bellator needs to stop recycling stars. You know, once UFC is done with you, yeah, you could go ahead, the Bellators of the world or the PFLs or all these other leagues. But
Yeah.
you gotta put the best fights at the end of the day. Not, and I get it. Like I said, everybody's
business.
Here. It's a business. They're here to make money, and I know the new owners spend a shitload of money to grab the UFC, but you gotta put the best guys against the best guys. And if you're a promoting machine like the UFC is, you won't have any trouble selling tickets, man. I seriously doubt it. They're going to struggle to sell out a Madison Square Garden.
It's amazing.
Or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. It's new to New York, right? So, of course, they're going to sell it.
Yeah, and it just surprised me that they released, what's my guy from CSW?
Josh Barnett.
No. You know who I'm talking. Who?
Curtis.
Curtis
Oh,
Miller.
Curtis Millender, yeah.
They release him, but they keep, and I love Carlos Condit, but he's lost like his last 8 fights.
It's a little broken up, a lot of damage, a lot of years.
But Curtis Miller's of the world get cut.
Yeah. And he's up and coming and still
He's
pretty
up
powerful.
And coming. He's hungry. I know him personally. I know him when he started his career.
Curtis Millender's a badass.
He's a good dude, very, very humble guy, and I was blown away by that. But you got to build your stars. You know, you got to plan for 10 years ahead. You can't go for that easy money, and then a year from now, you're stuck back doing barnyard fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think that you got to put the best fighters against the best fighters, and eventually people are going to appreciate that more than seeing Conor McGregor lose but making $50 million. I just think you got to balance it out.
Well, it's becoming a global sport. So we've had it here in the States. Of course, we've got a lot of practitioners from Brazil. Got the Hawaiians,
Right.
Canadians,
Filipinos.
like no, Robert's not Filipino, but there's a lot of different people. Connor's coming from Ireland. Got some guys from London, and then they're getting over it in the Eastern Bloc. You know, and the Russians and the Ukrainians, and
Right.
It's going everywhere. So how does the landscape of MMA change as a global event? You can pull a guy from the jungles of, you know, who knows what in the Sahara or whatever. You know, it's a desert, right?
I just don't think they've scratched the surface yet.
Right.
Because it's been a USA-based sport. I mean, yeah, you had the Brazils of the world that helped it bring it over. But, I mean, 90% of your events have been in the U.S.
But I watched Bloodsport. I watched the Kumite. I mean,
But
come on.
It wasn't MMA, baby.
That was MMA, bro.
Yeah, that was
Before
Frank
the cage.
Dukes. That was Frank
Yeah.
Those were classic fights. That's what we all watched. Because we're all in the same age bracket. So, yes, we
Yeah.
came from boxing, which became, you know,
El Crush.
no holds barred at one time is what they called it, right?
NHB.
Vale Tudo,
Yeah.
right? Before it was called mixed martial arts.
I think that MMA is a global sport once it, and I will push for this as long as I
As the
could
Olympics?
when it gets into the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
I think MMA in the Olympics and now you'll have the Brazilians against the U.S.
Yeah.
You know, have the Armenians up in there, have the Russians, have all these guys up in there, Israelis or whatever the case may be.
I'm sorry, so on your honest opinion, who would dominate that sport in the Olympics? What country you think would dominate?
I think you got to look at the top guys that are the champions right now. I think a Khabib would probably wipe everybody out at 155.
His lifestyle alone, the way he lives with his parents, he's very humble.
Right.
It isn't about stardom or money or anything necessarily like that. He already has a good life, a wife. Everything's kind of set for Khabib. He fights because he loves to fight.
Right, but then you go back to it, is that would Conor McGregor make the team for his country?
I wonder.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of dudes at his weight that will wipe the mat out of him, but people don't know about him.
Yeah.
So would Conor McGregor make it? Probably not.
Yeah, we
The
stand to
name
see.
you'll know,
Yeah.
but the skill level is kind of not there. Because anytime they've put him against some dudes that were actually his size,
Sure. Like
I
Nate,
mean, he gets gassed.
Like, what about Diaz?
He
You
gets
see
gassed.
Diaz is making it to the Olympics? Diaz brothers?
you can't smoke weed and go to the Olympics.
Automatically, yeah,
Only
USADA,
CBD.
USADA.
That's right.
CBD is loud in the Olympics.
I don't think at this point, I don't think they would make it.
Oh, okay.
You know, like an Aaron Pico would make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because his skill level.
Yeah.
What's the name that represents Cuba? What's his name that has that really raspy?
Yo Romero.
Yeah, that guy's badass, dude.
Well, I mean, he was in the Olympics.
You just like his physique.
No, I just like the way he fights. He just reminds me of me back in the day. He's an animal.
Oh, This is the shit.
I know I saw a couple pictures of you, but I never seen you looking like Yo Romero, bro.
Oh, look at this picture of me when I was 12.
Somebody. Hey, you must be in fantasy land.
This dude is looking at pictures.
It's good to
of
dream,
himself.
bro.
Oh my
You
God.
said it with a straight face,
I am
like you really
blown away.
believed it.
Where is Adam Woods?
Where's Adam Woods when you need him?
You right? Adam Woods. See what happens when we give Joey a microphone? Oh my God. Yoel.
Yeah, but if MMA could get into the Olympics, then you'll know it's become a global phenomenon.
I think that's a heavy statement, and it does, for those of us that understand, it does belong there because of the sportsmanship, the athleticism, the technical skill, all of the above. What are you laughing about? I'm talking over here.
I'm sorry. I think Adam Woods is putting all these smiley faces.
Because he knows he belongs here. Adam Woods, quit getting stuck in traffic, man. We got a homie here tonight to see us. But that's okay. We take good care of him. But again, skill level, technical ability, athleticism. These are things that the Olympics is known for. And when you're cutting a sport like wrestling, which was the original sport that brought the Olympics together, I believe,
Greco-Roman,
back Greco-Roman, no clothes on in the dirt. But does it get replaced by modern day mixed martial arts? Because
I wouldn't mind.
no, and it makes sense.
I wouldn't mind karate. Take karate out of there.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, I get
There's
it.
a lot of them that are there.
Yeah, I mean, combine them all in one sport, and I guarantee you their ratings will triple.
Yeah.
I and not only that, then you see the next crop of guys coming out of there. Maybe the one guy that made it, nobody knew about him, but now you know who he is.
That's the worst picture ever. I'm sorry.
I think countries start paying attention to athletes at that level. What is that?
It's like a picture of
Are you gonna
God
put
right
that
there.
up? Well, isn't that Yoel Romero?
No, shut I hate you, Rob. I'm gonna get you back next week, bro.
You should actually put them both side by side so you can see how they look.
No, there's a picture. If you go to my MMA file pictures, you
I
find a
think
great picture of me.
That
on
is
there.
the man who swallowed Yoel Romero.
Oh, you dicks! Not even like that.
In more ways
If you
than
go,
one.
if you go to my MMA album, oh, you sick bastard! You go to hell for that. I hope you just take it up the ass.
Oh, we can't pick on Joey too much. I don't want to mess up his self-image.
you're
Joey's
Joey.
lost a lot of weight. He can make it up the whole flight of stairs now with one breath. He's doing good. No.
Yeah, I mean, I can almost see my pee-pee now. Come on.
Almost. You get a mirror big enough, and you can see that little sucker. But he's doing good. His wife loves him. He just rocked the hell out of Temecula, California.
Yes, I did. I rocked the shit out of Temecula, California.
So Joey does his business. We all have to hear about it in the fault line, but
Now, so we're almost coming close to the show here. Now, where can we find you in your social media?
Actually, Instagram XXL Bullies. You guys can find me right there. I'm always posting stuff up. I'm also a dog breeder, pit bull breeder.
Woo.
So yeah, I've been doing that for about 18 years now. So yeah.
Again, big thank you to Lights Out Extreme Fighting. OG Carlos Ramirez here. He is a matchmaker. He is the person who corrals the fighters. He is the man behind the scenes. Comes all the way out of his way to come do the Gym Crasher show. So thank you.
Yeah,
I don't
thanks a
think
lot.
I have half of your story because we get most of it before the show gets started, and then we get on a roll and we kind of go off the track. So thank you for watching. Even though we were off the tracks tonight, Carlos definitely has more to tell us. And when Adam Woods is back, we're going to get him back in here again. And thank you again, buddy, man.
Appreciate
He was
See you
being
at the
detained.
fights. I
Thank you,
really
guys.
respect what you do.
I always have a blast going with you.
And Dondo, where can they catch you on your social media?
John Dondo on Facebook and Dondo the Gym Crasher on Instagram.
That's right. And then, of course, Joey the Bull Santana on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and that's it.
And he's the man who swallowed Yoel Romero.
Don't, what is he doing right now? That's not cool, bro. Oh, my God.
Oh, put that up, Robert. Put that up. That's Joey in high school when he was a boxer.
Oh, and now I see the resemblance.
You
Right?
see resemblance.
That's right.
God, I hate you guys.
Hot
so
dog
much.
eating champion right there.
Oh,
He could take
man.
down a tube steak.
Whatever. Problem with you, Dondo, you don't have to get on your knees. You can just stand up, bro.
That's right. There's no problem with that. I got to do what I got to do, buddy. Look at that. You going to put that on for everybody, Robert? We're going to just talk about it all night. Sorry, the producer's a perfectionist over here. Yep.
Okay, that's it. Make sure you whisper that.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you know what, Robert, before you do that, let's take a moment of silence here for a good friend, family member here at Dello Jiu-Jitsu. That's where we operate. John Dello is very kind to give us the space here, but partner of his in the boxing world, Bruce Warren, passed away last night. This morning, so it is today. He is the boxing life in this Jiu-Jitsu dojo and helped many fighters with John, alongside John, for King of the Cage, for John and Jason's own promotion for Long Beach Fight Night. In preparation for these fights, we all know that John handles the MMA and the Jiu-Jitsu, but Bruce helped bring the hands together for a lot of these guys that John brought up through the years. So, including John, including myself, I got in there and get the shit knocked out of me because I'm a jiu-jitsu guy going in with boxers. But Bruce, he held you to a high standard if you were in there, and there's no backing down. And a gentleman, a brother to all of us, a person who was here almost every day that we were here, and a big part of Del O Jiu-Jitsu. So we, wish the best to the family. Our condolences. And Bruce, we'll see you on the other side. We miss you already.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that's it. We're the Gym Crashers. Thank you again. Stay tuned for the Royal Ramble. I don't know if Robert's going to show that picture after that statement, but he might because Robert has no manners.
We'll see you all next week.
Save it for the next.
Yeah, we'll save it for the next one. Thank you.